At this time, I'm going to call the August 11th, 2025 Board of Adjustment meeting to order for the town of Fuquay. Everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And it looks like we have a quorum tonight. So everybody, welcome. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, and it is a time for petitioners to present justification for their special use permits or variance requests, and for the members of the public to testify in support of or opposition to the justified presentations. Quasi-judicial hearings are unlike legislative hearings in that witness testimony is limited to the field of expertise or to a party with standing, and not general public comments in support of or opposition to the request. Any evidence presented tonight before the board will become the property of the town. Anyone wishing to address the board tonight will need to sign in. Then there's a public hearing sign-in sheet up front, and then complete an oath form at the podium, and then you'll take an oath with the deputy clerk. We do, okay. Would you please come up? If you will please line up and face the board at the podium, okay?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
If everyone will please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
For evidence presented
Evidence presented
before the Board of Adjustment
before the Board of Adjustment
of the town of Fuquay-Varina,
of the town of Fuquay-Varina,
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Thank you. I'll collect your.
And item 2A on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the July 15th Board of Adjustment meeting. The purpose of the agenda item is to consider approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Does anyone have any changes or corrections that need to be made?
No.
No.
Does anyone have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 15th, 2025 Board of Adjustment meeting.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, please raise your right hand and say nay. The minutes are approved. We can move on into the public hearing section. Item 4A tonight is a special use permit petition for 336 South Main Street. It is made by John and Patricia Byrne. The purpose of this agenda item is to consider a special use permit, BOA SUP 2025-01, at 336 South Main Street by petitioners John and Patricia Byrne. Is there any further information to be provided by the staff? Okay. Any questions for the staff at this time? Oh.
Do you have any questions? I can give my little spiel too. Good evening, Ms. Chair, members of the board. As the chair has previously stated, this is a meeting to consider a special use permit at 336 South Main Street, owned by John and Patricia Byrne, to permit the use of a commercial daycare. 336 South Main Street sits on 0.21 acres within the town corporate limits. the surrounding use of the properties. There's a daycare, existing daycare to the north. There's a civil use of, I believe it's a Masonic lodge to the south, and there are vacant lots to the rear, and all of the lots in question, the one in question and all the surrounding lots are also zoned DC1 or Downtown Center 1 district. So this property has not been subject to previous cases seen by this Board of Adjustment, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Yes, sir.
You state your name.
My name is Josh Churius. I'm senior planner, current planning here at Town of Fuquay-Varina.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I would like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of the petition?
Good evening. Andy Petty from Curry Engineering, 205 South Fuquay Avenue here in Fuquay. I'm here on behalf of the property owner, John Byrne. I'm also joined here with the soon-to-be operator of the daycare, Joy Mangum, and also our project architect, Jessica Swanson. I'm going to go through this application of our findings of fact, our other contributing factors, and also our conditions that we have, and then we'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have after that. Going through the first finding of fact, which is fact number 1. The proposed use will not materially endanger the public health and safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plans as submitted. The Town of Fuquay-Varina's Board of Commissioners, the legislative body governing the town by adoption of the 2035 Community Vision Land Use Plan and its adoption of the Fuquay-Varina Land Development Ordinance, has determined that the proposed use, if developed according to the applicable standards of the LDO, should not present a danger to the public health or safety. The LUP designates the property as downtown. The LDO and corresponding zoning map designate the property as Downtown Center 1, the DC1 zoning district, which is a zoning district consistent with the land use plan. The proposed use will be to the standards as required for a daycare commercial facility under the terms of the LDO. All improvements to the property will be in compliance with all federal, state, and local government laws and regulations. Our finding of fact number 2, the proposed use, when constructed, will meet all required conditions and specifications of the LDO, the North Carolina State Building Code, and the North Carolina Fire Code that are applicable to the proposed use and the improvements to the existing structure. Our finding of fact number 3, the proposed use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining properties. The improvements being constructed will meet all requirements of the LDO. Restrictions on students per age level as enforced by the North Carolina Child Care Commission will keep vehicle trip generations associated with proposed use low, while also providing a useful asset to the surrounding community, offering child care options for the residents of downtown. Finding of fact number 4, the proposed use will be in harmony with the area in which it is located in its general conformity with the plan of development of the town of Fuquay-Varina and its ordinances. As stated above, the proposed use will not require a land use or a zoning map amendment, as the proposed use is a permitted special use under the LDO. Upon construction of the proposed use in compliance with the LDO standards for a commercial daycare facility, this use will be consistent with and adhere to the land use plan and the land development ordinance. The use is directly adjacent to an existing daycare facility and shall continue to provide the citizens of Fuquay-Varina child care services. As I said, we will go back and look through the contributing factor descriptions. The first one being the circulation. The proposed facility will not increase the number of driveways or access points onto South Main Street. The facility will utilize the existing circulation patterns of the adjacent daycare. It is the same operator for pickup and drop-off. It is not anticipated that more staff will be necessary for this facility. The 2 facilities will act as one daycare with different age groups in each building. Striped access ways are provided to highlight pedestrian access between both facilities. The parking and loading location areas, as stated above, the facility will utilize the existing circulation patterns of the adjacent daycare for pickup and drop-off, as well as employee parking. Employees will utilize on-street parking and the existing driveway for 336 South Main Street and will be allowed to park 2 cars. Service entrance and areas. The proposed use proposes no new service or dumpster areas. The property is currently served by the town of Fuquay-Varina for trash and recycling pickup. This will remain, however, it is a condition of this SUP that all trash and recycling bins be placed behind the buildings and not visible from the public right-of-way. Lighting. This proposed use proposes no new site lighting. Utilities. The proposed use proposes no new utilities. Existing water meter and sewer cleanouts are located in the backyard of the site. Open space and landscaping. The proposed uses will preserve existing trees and provide new street trees along South Main Street as required by the LDO. The environmental protection. There are no known environmental features on this site. And the effect on adjacent property. The proposed use is the same use as 334 South Main Street. Therefore, there are no negative effects on adjacent properties, and we do not expect any effects on the other adjacent properties. Compatibility. The proposed use is a smaller scale daycare facility, which is defined as a max 25% capacity, which aligns with the scale of the adjacent businesses. Converting this use from a single-family residential to a commercial along the Main Street corridor aligns with the vision set forth in the land use plan. We have 3 conditions that we have placed on the special use permit. 1, a cross-access easement to allow access from 334 to 336 South Main Street shall be recorded prior to the CO of 336 South Main Street. Number 2, should the use of 334 South Main Street change, 336 South Main Street shall amend the special use permit to illustrate that 334 South Main Street will provide an appropriate vehicle drop-off and pick-off circulation route that remains completely on the property. And finally, number 3, which is one I just mentioned, is that all the trash and recycling containers shall be stored out of view from the public right-of-way on non-pickup days. And that's this facility was a residential facility, so it does have the carts, and the town of Fuquay's Public Works has confirmed they will still continue to allow those carts. So that's why that condition's in there. So with that, I'll be glad to address any questions you may have, or if anybody on our team can address any questions, we'll be glad to answer those. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. I have one question. When it comes to parking and drop off and pickup, what are the ages of the children that are,
For both daycares, or which daycare in particular?
for both?
6 weeks to 12 years of age.
Okay. The second thing is, for drop off, are you gonna drop them off on Main Street?
No, they don't drop off on Main. They're going to utilize the existing circulation in it.
Yep.
And on the site plan, we actually have enough room in that circulation to have cars stacking and have a bypass route.
Yep.
And about the average time to drop a kid off is about 90 seconds. So it moves pretty quick.
I've actually seen it in action, and it's a pretty smooth moving operation right there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is the average pickup time about the same as drop-off time?
I would, yeah. I mean, it's all, with kids, it's always one of those things where if somebody has a day and forgets their cup or something like that, for the most part, it's a check-in and check-out system. The system and the process is pretty much the same.
And so there's going to be a little walkway built between the 2 buildings. I was wondering
Yes,
if
ma'am.
they're doing drop-off on the 334, there's just going to be a sidewalk or something?
Yeah, we have a sidewalk that connects from 334 to the parking area of 336, and so you have pedestrian access to both buildings. And then also we've got an area that's striped across the U-shape in 336 that connects to the public right-of-way, so you have sidewalk egress to the public right-of-way from both buildings as well.
Any other questions?
Good.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the petition? At this time, we are going to close the public hearing, and the board will go into discussion. Does the board have any discussion of the petition?
No.
It's very straightforward.
Yep.
Okay. So we need to decide on each finding of fact. As it relates to finding of fact number 1, the proposed use or development will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plan as submitted, because we need to complete that. Does anybody have any discussion about that?
I think he went over that pretty thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
You just use the words of the petitioner in the petition
Yes.
for the because, all right?
We need to read that out, don't we?
We need to read it.
So somebody needs to make a motion and read out
Okay,
the because.
all right. Does somebody want to make a motion on the, finding of fact number 1 and read?
I make a motion.
Okay? And how would you like for your motion to read?
Well, I'd like to read it, but I don't have it in front of me, so
It should be on your screen here.
motion to approve BOA SUP 2025-01
Yep.
as presented under the terms and conditions. Is that what I'm reading right there? Oh. Okay, statement by the petitioner, finding of fact 1, the proposed use will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plan submitted. The Town of Fuquay-Varina Board of Commissioners, the legislative body governing by the town, by adopting the 235 Community Vision Land Use Plan, the LUP, adoption of the Fuquay-Varina Land Development Ordinance, the LDO, has determined that proposed use, if developed according to the applicable standards of the LDO, should not present a danger to the public health or safety, okay? The LUP designates the property downtown as the LDO corresponding zoning map designate the property as downtown center, zoning district, which is zoning district consistent with the LUP. The proposed use will be to the standards as required by daycare commercial facility under the terms of the LDO. All improvements to the property will be in compliance with federal, state, and local government laws and regulations.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to finding of fact number 2. And this time, I'm just going to read the entire proposed motion.
Okay.
So finding of fact, the proposed use does or meets all required conditions and specifications because the proposed use, when constructed, will meet all required conditions and specifications of the LDO, the North Carolina Building Code, and the North Carolina Fire Code that are all applicable to the proposed use and improvements to the existing structure. That's our proposed motion. Do I have any?
Second?
Oh, well,
Oh.
that would be the proposed wording of the motion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your right hand and say nay. All right, moving on to finding of fact 3. The proposed use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining property or of the adjoining property or the use as a public necessity because the proposed use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining properties. The improvements being constructed will meet all the requirements of the LDO. Restrictions on students per age level as enforced by the North Carolina Child Care Commission will keep vehicle trip generations associated with the proposed use low, while also providing a useful asset to the surrounding community, offering child care options for the residents of downtown. That is our proposed motion. Do I have anyone who, or the proposed wording of the motion, do I have anyone who, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
All right, and do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your right hand and say nay. Okay, and the wording for finding of fact number 4. The location and character of the proposed use, if developed according to the plan submitted, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located and in general conformity with the plan of development of the town of Fuquay-Varina and its ordinances. Because it is, let's see, because as stated above, the proposed use does not require a land use or zoning map amendment, as the proposed use is a permitted special use under the LDO. Upon construction of the proposed use in compliance with the LDO standards for a commercial daycare facility, the use will be consistent with and adhere to the LUP and LDO. This use is directly adjacent to an existing daycare facility and shall continue to provide the citizens of Fuquay-Varina child care services. This is our proposed finding of fact number 4. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve finding of fact number 4 as stated by the petitioner.
Second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your right hand and say nay. All right, the motion's all carried.
We need an
So-
overall motion.
Do what?
We need an overall motion on the item.
Okay, on all of,
Yeah, I'd recommend making a motion on the entire, the entire petition, and then also include the conditions that they volunteered as well, so adopt
okay.
all that
Do
together.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
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 All opposed, raise your right hand and say nay. All right, the motion carries.
Who made the motion? Me.
Who's first?
Sorry.
I can make the motion.
Somebody need to make the motion for the record.
Somebody else make a
First?
motion.
Okay, and then Thomas Gallo is second.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything else from the staff? Okay. If there is no other business, then I will accept a motion to adjourn tonight.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.
All right.
I'd like to make a comment if I could. Before we go, talk adjourn, I just want to thank each of you for what you're doing for the town. We're paying you a lot of money. But you've given us something of your life to be here and to help our community. I think this little, the little daycare, kind of interesting. It's not another bar. It's gonna help our downtown community, which we're seeing a good amount of growth in with young families. And this is an addition for young families in our downtown area. And I think we need to all be proud of that. And the other thing that I would say, Fuquay-Varina is continuing to evolve and to grow. And we will see more and more unique type uses of property that we haven't seen before. And you folks are gonna have to help guide us through that process, as well as other boards and Pam. We're not the same little bitty community that we once were. Again, just appreciate, what all of you do here, including James too. I'll give him a little credit, even though we won't let him make a motion.
Well, he was very helpful tonight.
That's right.
And we appreciate all that you did for
Thank you, sir.
this area.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put you down now.
We will not have a September meeting.
Okay.
And just something to throw out, the planning board a couple of years ago shifted their or if you like 7 o'clock, staff loves 6 o'clock. But if it is something you're interested in, we would go ahead and put that on the next meeting.
I think that would be a great agenda item for the next meeting.
I guess the question is, anybody opposed to shifting it to 6 o'clock?
No. Doesn't matter.
This is not an official motion.
Yeah, this is official, this is just
No.
getting to read from
You
you.
can discuss it.
I don't think that anyone will be opposed.
Now quicker, for dinner.
That's right.
Thank you so
Yep.
much.
All right.
One thing I'd like to ask for, board,
That there is one in the notebook. We don't get notebooks anymore, but that's a good idea. We used to have one in that notebook. Did you get a notebook? Okay.
On
I
the
have an
town's
old,
website.
I have